So, here we go. All right. Okay, man. All right.
Squirrel.
Where? What's going on, everybody? We're back at it again with part 2 of the RCF Micro Mini. We got the motor put into the frame. We also got our parts in. We're going to go over that here in just a minute. We still got a lot of work ahead of us, so John, what do you say?
Yeah, let's get after it.
Let's get after it. Before we get started, I just wanted to say a huge thank you from Evan at RCF. Not only for answering all our questions, but for helping us get set up with all these parts needed to build this RCF Micro Mini.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
We got our parts from RCF. We got wheels, clutch cover, chain tensioner, clutch brake linkage, intake for a PZ19 carburetor, rest of the clutch brake and all the hardware, gas tank mounts, gas tank, look how pretty that is, axles, bearings, and spacers. He even labeled them. I've never seen anybody do that. That's cool. And the wheel for the chain tensioner. So we decided we're going to use a thumb throttle setup. We're going to end up having to use ATV grips. So we picked up a set of Pro Taper ATV grips on Amazon. And we're going to actually use those up top. But also, if you notice, the frame down here is bare. We put a lot of work into this paint job. So I got a second set of just pure black grips. And we're going to run those down on the bottom.
Well, one trick you can do is spray some Windex inside your grips, and it dries and it becomes grippy and doesn't slide off later.
Next up, gas tank. It's a nice spun aluminum gas tank with a billet cap, and that's legit. That's like a true vent, not just a cap with a hole drilled in it. I'm even impressed by the gas tank mounts that he sent. Not only because they're stainless, they have little built-in isolators. That's a nice touch. Tars. John, what do you got?
Coffee and donuts.
Coffee and donuts. Fat peel. John took this RCF intake and taped off the actual RCF part and painted this pipe black. Then took the tape off, polished this, and then cleared it. And it looks so good. Mighty fine job, John.
Thanks, sir.
Mighty fine. Okay, so I got the wheels and tires put together. Now it's time to slap them on the frame. And before I get started putting these wheels and tires on, I wanted to share something else with you. I bought a set of BMX stunt pegs and had them drilled out. One side's drilled to 5/8, the other one is threaded to 5/8. I think 5/8 by 18 is the thread pattern on these axles. We're going to run these on here just for laughs. Obviously we're not going to be doing any kind of big stunts or whatever, but they would probably make good footrests, so we're going to see how it looks. Now do it again with the motor on it.
Yeah.
All right, carburetor time. And that right there is how you put on a carburetor. Let's go ahead and get this right meow into meow. Okay, so we got the clutch brake and everything installed on this. We didn't film it because we kind of had to figure it out ourselves. So this is my first time ever dealing with something like this. But the band is on, hardware is all installed. We actually just ended up clearing this part. It just seemed like a lot of work to paint it when it's going to be covered by the clutch cover itself anyway. So we cleared this, got all the hardware on it, band's installed. Now all we got to do is put the keeper in, run the cable, and all that jazz. We gotta adjust it a little bit later, but it works. I've got the clutch brake all set up. I took the clutch off so you could see the chain tensioner. Evan set up this chain tensioner to mount to the existing bolt holes on the block. I'm gonna be putting the tensioner wheel right here. We're gonna be running the chain inboard on this one. We'll set the chain up, get everything lined up, tightened down, all that. And then I'm going to start working on an exhaust, but I have to get all this stuff on first to make sure it's going to clear. So let's get after it. Alright, so I've got the chain in. I've got the chain tensioner put in. Everything's lined up like it's supposed to be. The only thing holding us back now is the exhaust. So I took the old exhaust and cut the flange off of it, and what I'm going to do is put it on, tighten it down, and I got this old piece of pit bike header. The curves in it are basically what I'm looking for. I've got to shape it up a little bit, cut this old flange off. I'm going to leave this piece on, just make it look different so it's not just a piece of tube hanging off the side of the bike. I'll shape this end up, get my angles like I want them in here, and we'll have a header. Alright, so I finished making my exhaust, ended up with this. Had some scrap header wrap just laying around, so I figured since everything's so close together on this, it probably wouldn't hurt. Just some hose clamps to hold it on there. Painted the ends. Came out pretty good. Alright, this bike's not going to do a whole lot until I get fuel from here to here. So I'm going to hook up the fuel line. There's a bung on the bottom of this tank. We'll run the fuel line over to the inlet of the carburetor. Go ahead and get the cable hooked up. We should be ready to rock. everything together. We got the carb on, we got the clutch brake on, we got the clutch on, the chain, all the throttle and brake linkage and everything is hooked up. Stunt pegs are on. This bike is complete. Now I would love to fire this thing up, but it is currently midnight. My neighbors would be pissed. It does fire, but I wasn't going to let it sit here and idle and play with the throttle and all that because, again, it's midnight and my neighbors would be pissed. So, on top of all that, it's currently raining and it's supposed to for the next 4 to 5 days. So, yeah, I'm not riding in the rain. And it's like 30 degrees out, so I'm not doing that. Hopefully, sometime this week we'll be able to take this thing out and see just how fast she'll do, see how she rides and everything. I can't wait. This is gonna be awesome. Big thanks to Evan Rubel for helping us get set up with all these parts. If you haven't already, you can like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook at Mini Bike America. You can pick up a t-shirt, hat, or hoodie from Stover Customs to help support the channel. On that note, I also wanted to let y'all know about a new Facebook group called the Brotherhood of Mini Bikers. Great place. You should definitely check it out. Like I said, hopefully we'll be able to get this video of this thing riding. I want to make a really good video of this thing riding around. You know, me and John goofing off on it and everything. So, but once we get everything fully situated, we get some good weather out there, we'll be able to take this thing for a good old-fashioned ripski. So till next time, y'all get up, get out there, and get after it.